Hey everybody, this is Freedom is the Right coming to you with a brand new video review. Today we're going to be taking a look at Studio Series 86 Leader Class Grimlock. Now, this guy is awesome. I was so happy to get him in my hands. When I found out that we were getting Leader Class Dinobots in the main line, I knew I had to get my hands on all of them. And of course, they started by releasing the leader of the Dinobots, Grimlock. This guy is really incredible. There's maybe a few nitpicks I have about him, but I really love this guy. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so coming in here, we're going to take a look at Grimlock's robot mode first. So taking a quick look at this guy, he is just awesome, and he's massive too, which is really great to see. I just love seeing the Dinobots be bigger than, pretty much everybody else, except for maybe like Jetfire, characters like that. Coming in here, we can take a look at his head sculpt. And this is just really, really well done. It's cast in a black plastic, and you can see there is tons of sculpted in detail on this guy. He has a really nice metallic blue paint for the visor. And even coming in here on the back of the head, you can see they sculpted it really well. And overall, this whole figure is just sculpted really well. We have tons of nice detail on this gold metallic paint they have for the chest, which I absolutely love. A nice big Autobot insignia is sculpted in behind that plastic. You also have some really great sculpting here for the arms. You can see his claws are painted in a metallic gold as well, just like the chest. His fingers are individually sculpted, which looks really great. They also took the time to put some sculpting inside here for the wings, which looks really great. Coming down here, you can see that we have some red paint here and some red plastic as well for the crotch plate. Nice sculpted detail along that as well. And all along the legs, you can see the nice metallic blue paint, red and green here for the shins, which looks really great. And there's not really any gaps or hollow spaces on this guy. He transforms up pretty cleanly. There's not really a backpack. This is all very animation screen accurate. There is one point of contention I have, which is here. There's hollow gaps for where the hands flip out, which is a little obnoxious. I mean, at leader class price, you would think they could at least put something that like a panel that could hinge and close or open, or maybe this could have just pushed in and pulled out to remedy that. That's kind of my one gripe with this guy. But yeah, other than that, he looks fantastic. So turning to articulation, the head is on a ball joint. It does go side to side. He can look down. He can look up slightly, not too much. It does rotate a full 360, which is nice. And now coming here to the arms, if you push the wing out of the way, and these arms are on nice ratchet joints. They're soft ratchet, and they can rotate a full 360, which is really nice. And then coming here, we do have bicep swivel, and we do have a nice slightly over 90-degree bend here. The arms, we do have wrist rotation, which is nice. And then coming down here to the crotch, we do have waist swivel. We have thigh swivel here. He can kick out this far. He can kick back about that far. He does have the capability to do the splits. You can bend back about 90 degrees for the knee joint, and they're on soft ratchets as well, which is nice to see so much ratcheted joints in this figure. Also, the toes don't really hinge back or forward, but they do come out here for ankle rockers, and they have this piece molded in, which is so nice. So even when you're bending, there's not like a hollow gap. It looks like it's all kind of still connected, which is a really great attention to detail to see. And so that about covers it for articulation on this guy. He's really well articulated, which just adds even more to how incredible this figure is. Now coming in for accessories, he does come with his blaster, which is sculpted and cast in a black plastic, and this looks just awesome. It's really nicely sculpted, very animation accurate, and we can of course give him his weapon. So there you have that. You can pose him out, have him doing some really epic battle scenes which is really cool to see. Now coming in here with his second included accessory, we do have this little wheelie that he comes with. Now, this guy is really nicely painted, and honestly, he looks good, but he's not even posable. So this kind of feels like a pointless inclusion. He's just kind of there to serve as like a decorative piece almost. I don't even mind that he doesn't transform. I just wish they would have articulated him better, given him hinges, you know, some knee bend, arm articulation and whatnot. The head is on a little ball joint, so you can kind of move it side to side, and it does rotate the full 360. His arm here does kind of just hinge out. There's no bend here. It's just this side has the bend a little bit. That's how he was sculpted. Like I said, there's no knee bending. You can kind of, he comes with his slingshot, so you can kind of pose him and have him doing that. So it's like he's shooting his slingshot. And he does come with a feature he can sit on Grimlock's shoulder. There's a little peg back here that goes onto a port in the shoulder. This little port right here. And now there you have Wheelie sitting on his shoulder. So, to be honest, I hadn't even taken this out of the box. I had no desire to use this guy at all. He had just stayed in the box until I decided to do this review. So that covers it for his accessories. So we're going to go ahead and take his gun and Wheelie and put that off to the side. And another part of articulation is these claws here. Can move them, hinge them down and back up. But yeah, so that pretty much covers it for the robot mode. So we're going to go ahead and get down to transformation. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to come here on the arms, and you'll see there is a little hook here that's going to hook into this and lock that into place, just like that. And then we can come in here for the hand and just flip that in. And we can come here to the other side, do the same thing. Clip that into place and rotate, flip those in. And now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to kind of detach the head from the back. There's a little tab here that goes in here, and we're just going to kind of hinge that up out of the way. And now we can turn to the legs. This piece is going to flip in like that. We can do the same on this side. And now we can come to the back here, and we're going to open up, hinge this out, and you can see that the tail piece is on a hinge. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Come to the other side, do the same thing, hinge it out, just like that. Now this is a really cool piece of engineering here in the back of the legs. You're going to, and you want to put the arms out of the way here too. You're going to hinge this whole piece back, and as you do, this is going to slide over, and it's going to kind of line up with this, and it just kind of does that by itself as you hinge this up. And now we're going to go ahead and come and do that to the other side and hinge this, and there we go, and we have it sitting like that. Now we're going to go ahead and come to these. We're going to hinge this closed, and we can also hinge this side closed as well. And now we're just going to tab that all together. And there's also a tab here on the tail. Push that together as well. Make sure that's all situated, and there we have the tail all done. So now we're going to come up here, and this is pretty classic Grimlock transformation. We're going to pull this forward, and as you can see, there is also really great sculpted detail here, which is another piece that you don't really see in the finished robot or T-Rex mode. So it's awesome that they even went to the lengths to do that. It looks really great. And we're going to go ahead and swing this down on the hinge here and clip this into place just like that. So now coming to Grimlock's head, we are just going to hinge this down like so, and then we're going to bring these wings in, and these wings are on a little hinge. They do move up and down, and you're going to just bring it in and hinge that down. Do the same for the other, and then you can see these will just tab together like that. Now we're going to come into the head and just bring this down, and that'll clip into place. Disengage, there's a little locking point here, and bring his head down, and we can go ahead and bring out his arms, which are on ball joints and a hinge. And now turning to the legs, we can kind of straighten these out. And then this is a really cool point. So it locks, there's a mechanism that locks when we lock it into place, and then on the other side we pull that out, and there's a peg that kind of locks into here. So now we have it facing the other way, so you can pose them in T-Rex mode. And we can unlock that as well. And there we have Grimlock transformed into his awesome dino mode, and this just looks really great. Just like robot mode, this is awesome. There's so much nostalgia in looking at this. It's so cool. And you can see here he has the tail, which is done in like a white plastic, which looks really nice. No gaps again, no hollow spaces. The arms, as I said, are on a ball joint, and there's a hinge that goes up and down here. Some nice red paint along this section here, which looks really great. And yeah, this guy just transforms up really well. Articulation, you can rotate these bits to pose him out however you need to. The jaw is articulated, and also up inside here there's a little port, so if you have like some flame blast effects, you can plug those in and have him like breathing fire, which is really cool. And that about cover, and also the neck does rotate side to side, which is cool. One thing that is kind of bothering me is there, you can see the screws on this side of his face and the neck and the face. So it's a little bit unsightly. From this side, it's not a problem. He has nice blue paint for his eyes, which is great. Some sculpted detail here along the top of the head. And the teeth also, there are kind of, it looks like he's just missing his front teeth, which is kind of weird. I'm not sure why they sculpted it like that. But yeah, overall, he just looks great. Nice Autobot insignia here on his chest. And we do have storage for his weapon in this mode. So here again is the blaster, and there's two pegs here and here, and then there's also pegs here on the back, and that's where that plugs in. So you can store his gun on the back if you want. It looks kind of goofy, whatever. Go ahead and take this. And Wheelie also can sit on top of Grimlock in this mode. There's pegs on either side, and they're going to clip into spots here and here on Wheelie. So we can go ahead and put Wheelie like that, and you can have him posed out, maybe shooting somebody with a slingshot. Just like that, if you'd like to. Like I said, I don't really use my Wheelie at all. So we can go ahead and take Wheelie off, put him to the side. And that's pretty much it for this incredible dinosaur mode. And coming in for some size comparisons, we're going to go ahead and take a look at Studio Series 86 Voyager class Hot Rod. And here you can just kind of see just how massive this guy is. And they look really well together. They scale pretty appropriately, I think. And next we're going to bring in Studio Series 86 Deluxe Class Blur. See how these guys look together. It's really nice. And next we are going to bring in War for Cybertron Earthrise Leader Class Optimus Prime. See how these guys look together? I think they look really awesome together. And finally, we're going to bring in War for Cybertron Kingdom Leader Class Ultra Magnus. And looking at these two Leader Class figures together, you can see he even towers over Magnus, which is really cool. So there you have that. So that just about wraps it up for Studio Series 86 Leader Class Grimlock. Like I said before, this guy is so incredible. I was so happy to get him. I can't wait to add the rest of the Leader Class Dinobots to my collection. I think they're going to look really great together. Overall, he's just really great sculpting, really great paint and coloration. There is the gap issue with the arm, which isn't the best. But to be honest, I can forgive that. I can even forgive that we got wheelie instead of using the plastic for maybe something like a sword. And I think I would give this guy a 10 out of 10. I absolutely love him. So let me know down below in the comments if you agree, if you don't. And until next time, see y'all later.